Yo, then put the vest on. You look white, brother.
Big LSPD in the cut. Where my gang? Where my gang? Hey, big LSPD. Woo.
Yo.
This is my set. Angel, you got this. Stomp him out, Angel.
Angel's on our side?
Oh, hi.
Yeah,
Angel's on our side?
Yeah, she's defending the legislation.
Who's this?
She's big LSPD right now.
I thought that she wasn't on our side.
Oh, hi, Quingle.
In like 2 hours, she's not.
So am I not hating the... So what? I don't hate the DOJ?
Yeah, what's up?
How's it going? How's your day going?
What you trying to do, twerp?
How's your day going?
What you
Mr. Carmine?
What you trying to do,
Did
punk?
you just call him a twerp?
What are you? Why are you so rude to me?
Oh, you should be a little bit more professional.
You try to schmooze up on our banner woman?
I'm not your banner woman.
Yes, you are. You're fighting for our cause right now, okay?
I'm fighting for the status quo. I don't know about that.
Exactly. That's us right now. We are the status quo.
I'm just saying, like, officially...
you just a baby bag bitch, Quankle. You just a baby bag bitch.
Yeah, Quankle. You ain't shit.
Relax, okay?
Oh my god.
You ain't shit around here, Quankle.
You a fucking weaned off of oat milk.
Like an hour. You 10 kg skinny little rug rat. Get the f out of the
Okay, back up, okay, back the okay before we have problems. I swear to God, I'm gonna scrap for you.
You're 10 kilograms soaking wet, brother.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it.
Hey, you
Go back to Blaine.
I'm gonna count
Carmine
down.
Bobby. Carmine Bobby.
See, this is what this whole court case is about. Good stuff
Go
like
back
this.
to Blaine, Quango.
It's about you bitching. It's
Bobby?
about your goddamn
Bobby?
blade shifting your blade.
The chief, Bobby, the chief, the chief.
Children. Don't
Yeah, yes,
Are you
ma'am.
only there was senior officers and tell them to shut up?
Yeah, you guys need to start acting like fucking adults.
Bobby, are you planning on speaking today?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope so.
If you have another outburst like that, I will ask you to leave and go on patrol until you are able to speak.
Now, for those of you who may not be aware of the purpose of this legislation, as is all things, powers of individuals and the authorities that they represent need to be expressed in one way or another. And the way that these powers are expressed is through the Constitution. The Constitution is the blueprint for which our city is built upon. And through the Constitution, we will extrapolate and create legislation that enacts its will and provides a way to have the authorities that are inside of it expressed in a more defined and clear way. That is to say, the Constitution is a founding document, and the legislation that comes forth from it is the meat and bones, if you will, the furniture inside the house. Now, this specific piece of legislation is very important as it allows law enforcement officers the authority to enforce the law in their respective jurisdictions. There are 2 counties and 1 state that we all live in, is Los Santos County and Blaine County. The Los Santos County is responsible for its own public services, and included in that is the police departments, and the same goes respectively for Blaine County. So the whole point of this legislation is to enumerate the powers that are afforded to a law enforcement officer, what they can do, and what their express abilities are. Now, obviously, this state has always allowed for what's referred to a unified police department, is what it used to be called in the past, which is to say that the BCSO and the LSPD, PBSO, and all those other apartments were nothing more than cosmetic choices. Just another place for you to go to reside under specific high commands with no difference in your day-to-day. They all abided by the state law. There was no county laws to even refer to, and there was no such thing as jurisdiction. Now, that all changed with our new constitution that explicitly defined there to be 3 separate jurisdictions. 1, the state of San Andreas, which is all-encompassing. It covers everything within its jurisdiction, which would be the 2 counties. These 2 jurisdictions are Los Santos and Blaine County, respectively. Now, with that being said, every single county does have its own law enforcement agency, which we're all very well familiar with. And this legislation grants them the authority to enforce their laws and the laws of the states in these territories. One of the most important things that this legislation... Oh, let me use this. One of the most important things that this legislation does do is it allows there to be autonomy between these 2 individual areas. That is to say, Blaine County Sheriff's Office is not beholden to the Los Santos Police Department with regards to the structure of its departments, their SOPs, or how they are run. And the same goes the other way around. BCSO is not beholden to the LSPD high commands. Now, this is important because it ensures that these jurisdictions are separate and they do have their own say in what happens in their day-to-day life. They are independent law enforcement offices. They are responsible to their own jurisdictional authority, and they are not required to answer to another county. Now, the specific sections that are outlined and contest here are not this entire document, but more specifically a sub-authority and what it means. Currently, as is defined in the legislation, a sub-authority is someone that is enforcing the laws of a county that may not inherently have jurisdiction in, but that jurisdiction is granted to them as a result of this legislation. That means that LSPD may go north and they can enforce the laws of Blaine County as a sub-authority to BCSO, and the same vice versa. BCSO may come down to Los Santos County and enforce Los Santos County laws as a sub-authority to the LSPD. Additionally, sub-authorities must defer to the primary authority in any matter of conflicts or overlapping jurisdiction that might occur, which is to say, a BCSO officer, deputy, may not come in and take over jurisdictional authorities from an LSPD person who is trying to operate a scene or do something in their particular area. Now, granted, everything I'm saying does not necessarily apply to the state marshals, but they are not really the point of contention here, so I will not be mentioning them. Ultimately, this legislation is important as it allows the police departments to maintain their sense of autonomy. It allows them to operate in the way that they deem necessary and important for their specific county, and it allows them to remain separate from the influence of those who do not reside in that county or who do not work for that specific county. Now, there is something to be said with regards to the enforcement of state law and the authority of how that works. And it's important to note that we do not think that it would be good for people to be completely locked out of independent jurisdictions, which is why these sub-authorities are granted, allowing Blaine County to enforce state laws in LSPD and vice versa. But they still must defer to LSPD and vice versa in other jurisdictions to make sure that they are following the SOPs and the respective county laws that govern policing in their respective jurisdictions. Now, I understand what I said is a bit of a confusing word salad, and that's completely understandable if you didn't follow everything that I said. I'm sure as more arguments are presented in the opposing side, you will understand a little bit more clearly as to the goal of this. But I do not believe that this legislation should be changed. I think it is very important that we continue the status quo, ensure autonomy of police departments from each other. Thank you.
The people find that the wording of this clause creates an overwhelming effect where it can be easily interpreted to disallow members of law enforcement departments to contribute and serve the community as a whole. This can lead to extreme constitutional violations of our rights and freedoms, such as the right to health and protection of others, right to dignity, right to a fair trial and due process, and the Article of Legislative Authorities. This has proven to be a deficient and detrimental issue that infringes upon the people of San Andreas, and thus the people motion to amend the legislation to the following. BCSO and LSPD may patrol and enforce the laws of the state of San Andreas in state jurisdiction. SASM have full jurisdiction and authority over the territory of the state of San Andreas. They have ultimate authority over all law enforcement agencies in the matters of conflict or overlapping jurisdiction. The BCSO may patrol and enforce the laws of Los Santos County, but will defer to high command members from both BCSO and LSPD in matters where a situation warrants the addition of the BCSO in Los Santos County as a co-authority. The LSPD may patrol and enforce the laws of Blaine County, but will defer to high command members from both BCSO and LSPD in matters where a situation warrants the addition of the LSPD in Blaine County as a co-authority. As such, the law enforcement officer determines the responsibility of the addition of other officers per county in the state of San Andreas. We find that this amendment will allow the people of San Andreas to be fully protected by the enforcement departments of the state, and thus motion to amend the clause. And there's going to be one more thing that I want to present before more people speak. We did, with short notice, we did collect signatures for a petition. And since starting this petition, the high command from LSPD has stated that anyone from LSPD who signed that petition will be fired and they can go to the BCSO. Judge, if you want, I can give you the petition.
Can I sign it before you give it to her?
I mean, I guess it's like a verbal signature. I also do want to stress.
Petitions like this.
Hey, Moss, are you gonna find me and yourself?
I do want to state one more thing. While working on this amendment, we had officers come to us with concerns and also help us with it. They were so scared that because
Traitors!
they didn't want to get found out for working on this, that before they even started working on it, they came to our command and high command for security, for job security reasons, because they were scared that if it was found out that they were working on it, that they'd get fired.
Shut up.
But I can.
Didn't Ma sign it?
With signatures if you'd like. Can someone else give it to her? I mean, I can try.
I guess you're fired, Moss. For signing it.
Here, but if you want to give it to her.
Oh, 7 Chief.
I'll fire myself.
I can do it.
I guess I could have read it out myself. But yeah, that's all for me. If you want to read the petition and other people can start speaking.
Hey guys, my name is Deputy Josh Cade, and I come here to speak my mind, speak my opinion about this. I'm not a very political man, I must say. I'm more of a hands-on approach kind of guy. You know, when I joined this department, I wanted to tackle all crime being committed everywhere and anywhere. You know, I'm a man of the people, I like to believe. But you know, life has been made hard, you know. Sometimes I see all these drug calls going on in the city, you know, on Forum, on Carson, wherever they may be.
Broke, right?
And I think of you know, these old women that be
Blainer tears, dude. Blainer tears.
Buying weed and it's laced
Gotta
with
love them
fentanyl,
Blainer
or it's-
tears,
wait,
baby.
It's sprinkles of heroin. And then
I do. I go to them.
2-3 days later, she might die. And me knowing that, you know, I could respond to this and, you know, tackle this.
You can.
Sometimes, you know, I
But
have
you
to,
can.
You know,
What's stopping
I have
you?
to be wary of my job. I could go down there and do something, you know, and LSPD not be happy with it, and you know, they could suspend me. But I don't want to lose my job. You know? I want to catch these guys, and sometimes.
Oh God, dude.
Sometimes it's hard because I just don't want to get fired. This is my job. I love my job, and knowing that they could fire me, it's terrifying.
I would watch a porn
I just
when
want
they're acting.
to catch these people.
How does somebody get fired by a different
Anyone got a tissue, please? Please, you have a tissue.
I have a tissue. Here you go.
Full of caca, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Compose yourself. I understand.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, 100%. Don't worry, it's gonna be okay. Okay, it's gonna be okay.
And the fuck? What is he doing to
It's
it?
gonna be okay.
You're a good man, Quango.
It's gonna be okay. Don't you cry. Stay strong for us, Mr. Deputy. Stay strong. Stay strong. Well, ladies and gentlemen, people of the courtroom, some of y'all might know me, some of y'all might not. I am Deputy Jamarius Quango with the BCSO. I am a PPO. I was a son. I'm a brother. I'm a friend. I'm soon to be father.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats, Mango.
Congrats, Quango.
Recently, some of y'all might not know, some of y'all do know, my mother tragically passed away. God rest her soul. Rest in peace, Josephina. You have been missed dearly. Yesterday, something tragic happened to me. I had my mother's ashes in a vial in my pocket. And a criminal stole her from me. I couldn't sleep last night. I went to go for the vial and I couldn't find it. And I remembered they took it from me.
What did the vial look like?
It doesn't matter what the vial looked like. I was born in CMC. I played at the park across from the DPD, across from the marshal's office. I grew up there playing. But as of recently, it's turned very violent in the South Side. Gotham City has taken over.
Oh my God.
I've been ran out the South. I've been ran out the city. I can't even patrol without being in fear for my life or my job. The criminals, they want to kill me. I've had multiple attempts on my life. I can't even go to the city and patrol without the fear of being reprimanded by the LSPD. For me just simply doing my job, I have been called off multiple calls for entering the LSPD. I can't even go visit my childhood home for fear of being reprimanded and being dapped.
These arguments are so bad-faced, it's
Gotham
crazy,
City.
dude.
Crime
It is crazy.
has overran our beautiful city. And the BCSO has been, we haven't been able to do anything about it.
Come to Los Santos.
But today that all changes.
Y'all are up north.
So I ask everybody, please,
They can't
in the
even.
courtroom, keep in mind, I just want to be able to keep everybody safe and protected in the beautiful city of Los Santos. I love Los Santos, and I want to make sure everybody in it's safe. Please let me do my job. I beg.
I think the misinterpretation of the legislation has led to issues that Bruce has stated amongst other ones.
How is it
One
misinterpreted?
that I could speak on specifically would be a time recently where I was threatened to be sent off duty and almost sent off duty because I refused to take over scene lead of a pursuit that came into Blaine County, a pursuit that I had no context about, that I did not know where it stemmed from, that I did not know where it came from, that I had no further context as to what might have happened prior to it coming on our channel. But I was ordered by LSPD High Command to take the pursuit over, or I would be sent off duty. And LSPD High Command did try to do that, go through that,
And they couldn't.
but it was denied.
There you go. What?
I think it
what?
speaks
Shocker.
on instability
So what's the problem?
and cracks in the foundation.
So
that would
what's
help
the
us do our
problem?
jobs. I think it opens up a light.
You
to
let
further
a criminal
problems that
get
could come from
away,
it.
and you didn't get reprimanded
And I
because it was
truly
in your
think that the
county.
legislation
So
has
what's
been
the issue?
stretched to areas that it never
What's
was
the
intended
issue?
to, and
I feel
it's-
like a chatter right now listening
it's
to this,
sort of
dude.
showing issues that could hinder our jobs,
You know,
and that's what we're speaking
you know
on
what this
today.
screams to me? It screams they don't like the legislation, but unfortunately we haven't given them enough ammunition to weaponize, so now they're literally scraping the bottom of the barrel to make their shit make sense. But when they do use those examples don't even stick.
Justice Hart, unfortunately I stand before you today not only as a concerned police officer within the state of Los Santos, but also as a citizen fearful of repercussions for speaking out against the injustice that have been done to my fellow officers, deputies, and those we vow to protect.
I can't believe this shit.
The abuse of how the legislation is currently worded has had an unfortunate ripple effect throughout the Los Santos Police Department. While the Blaine County Sheriff's Office has done their absolute best to thrive in an environment that threatens their ability to perform their duties to their full capacity without the disregard for the work both Sheriff Bones and Under Sheriff Cassidy have put in, the LSPD has continued to push a narrative that has created a large divide within their own
This shit crazy, dude. This
lack
shit
of
is
clarity within
crazy.
legislation has created overlap, gaps, and ultimately conflicts between the departments. The actions taken by command and high command members of LSPD based on the exploitation of the wording of this legislation has caused contradictory goals instead of working towards that collaborative effort that we've been wanting to see between the departments. Having firsthand experience witnessing the differences between department morales, I've seen BCSO have a hard stance on that collaborative effort should LSPD be open to it, while I have seen LSPD reprimand their own officers for speaking against those who continue to perpetuate that divide within the law enforcement as a whole. I don't stand here today to support a change in the jurisdiction at its core, but rather to foster a greater police force for the state of Los Santos. I truly believe that revising or replacing the current legislation will promote that renewed collaboration and hopefully a stronger morale amongst all. Thank you, Justice.
Hello, everyone. As you might have noticed from the last few examples and things that have been brought up and discussed, it appears to me that a lot of the issues that the members of the Blaine County Sheriff's Office have are not necessarily with the legislation itself, but rather the people occupying these positions.
Exactly.
I would put forth a counter argument that the legislation seems written clear enough to me in regards to how it should be applied. However, if it is true that the high commands of LSPD are operating or creating SOPs in such a way as to cause harm to the citizens and to cause damage to the people and the effectiveness of law enforcement, would it not rather be more appropriate for the Blaine County Sheriff's Office to file a specific impeachment against the individuals in question, detailing why they have been causing this harm to people, and detailing the specific examples, rather than trying to change the legislation that is pretty clear on its application and provide specific and clear authority to each departments to operate as they need to. I find that the need to change the legislation is not as drastic as it would be to potentially remove bad actors from the system that are abusing or potentially causing damage to citizens with their mismanagements. Again, I'm speaking only to if these allegations were true. I am not saying that they are true. I'm saying merely if they were. With that being said, a legislative audit seems to be a more convenient and easy way to have these things changed rather than directly calling out the individuals. It is the path of least resistance, which people are more willing to take. I personally do not believe that a legislative audit needs to be done for this, and rather the BCSO should argue in front of a justice why specifically these individuals are causing harm and that they should be removed from their positions rather than trying to have the legislation written into what could be an unconstitutional interpretation, allowing LSPD and BCSO to interfere with each other's operation in their jurisdiction.
I do want to clarify, maybe I worded it poorly in the amendment. When the inclusion of either or both high commands when it comes to when it's warranted isn't so that BCSO High Command has any say in LSPD jurisdiction or vice versa. That's more so when it comes to the punishments. Like Ventura said, for a while, it was in LSPD's SOPs that they have all say over how BCSO deputies would be punished in their jurisdiction. This was so that, for example, let's say LSPD wanted to fire Nakota. They can't just fire Nakota. It also has to be discussed with
They
BCSO
can't
High
do
Command.
that already.
This
They
wasn't
can't
to give
do that
BCSO
already. What do you
power
mean?
in their jurisdiction as far as what they can and cannot do without LSPD's say.
We never said that we could
Also,
fire
there's a few more
What
people that
is
would like to
this?
speak on behalf of the BCSO.
We're in here
I
because
also
it's
wanna bring
something
up,
they can't even do. Bro, this shit
the-
crazy. I wish they
to start
structured
the
their
process to get
arguments a
someone
little better,
impeached,
because all these
if we
arguments
have to
don't
do
sound
that every
legitimate to
cycle
me.
when someone's appointed, by the time
I don't care what
that
happens with this role
impeachment
play, but
goes through, it's
I
already
feel like
at the
this
end of
is,
their term.
I don't know. And I don't even need to go up there, to be honest.
I would like to call Hayes up as well.
Wasn't it the BCSO's decision to not come down to
Yes,
the city?
that's what's fucking crazy to me right now.
She wanted to speak, but she was okay. You asked me if you.
So I think that the issue with this legislation is that it can be abused. I understand that people abusing it is an issue, but if the legislation is not changed before new people are put in, they could do the exact same thing. I don't think that using Shift 3 as an example of how the legislation is fine is logical. When I go into Shift 3 could make the decision to use the legislation in the same way. Which is the problem, is that they can use the legislation this way because it is not worded in a way that prevents it from being used in a way that it's not intended to be used. Shift 3 could be just as much of a mess, and Shift 3 just decides not to.
I'm gonna think about
Just decides not to. Okay.
I think that the police are stronger as a UPD. I hate this divide. I think this legislation is being used in a way that pushes the divide, and I think the only way that that is fixed is by changing the wording of the legislation so that it's more in line with whatever its intended use is supposed to be, because I don't think it's being used that way, and it will continue to be abused. Okay.
Basically, I'm just here to reaffirm what everybody else said and say that I stand behind it. We believe that the wording should be cleaned up so that it can't be used in a malicious intent like it has been. We as the BCSO genuinely want to work together. We want to be in the city helping out. We believe that there just should be some limits on who should be able to pull jurisdictional authority.
We're not able to talk until the next.
We proposed
We're not allowed to.
Amendments.
I believe Justice Hart said once the contesting side is completely finished.
To get things done. But there's just been zero wiggle room. The only thing that has been amended is something that was not discussed at all. It was just changed by the chief of police 2 days before this. I'm not sure why. An attempt to make them look better? I'm not sure. But we truly just want to work together. I mean, I am not a saint. I have done silly stuff.
No, that's
and
Ventura.
you know, take full responsibility for that.
Relax, Rob.
When I've acted out of line or maybe overstepped. But we really truly feel that certain things have been super maliciously used, and we just want it to go back to how it was. Before this SOP was pushed, I truly believe that we were in the best spot we were. Obviously, there's been a bit of a divide between the BCSO and LSPD since new high command was appointed about 3 months ago. But since we disbanded conjoined meetings a couple days before the new SOP went out and all of this went down, we had LSPD and BCSO meetings again. We were genuinely trending in the right direction. And that was all we've ever wanted to do. And that's what we want to continue to do, regardless of the outcome of this.
For the past 2-3 months, I've been working as a San Andreas State Marshal. So I've seen this on the ground floor from both sides. I've been requested by both sides, as multiple people have already attested to step in and act as daddy, to reprimand people for stepping out of line with this jurisdiction stuff. And it's childish. I stand wholly behind Justice Angel and her contention that what is being requested here is, at a point, unconstitutional. Article 2 clearly lays out that there are jurisdictional differences between Blaine County and Los Santos County, and those should be respected. The Constitution is supreme. It comes first, before all else. Then this legislation was put in place to empower that sense of difference in the Constitution, right? The changes that have come about through SOPs are internal to those police departments, right? That is not what is being contested here. What's being contested here is our own legislation. SOPs are merely a way to interpret legislation and turn them into standard operating procedures. There are different ways to deal with this. It is not here. This is not the forum for this. And I can get into multiple times I was asked to engage here and chose not to. And I told certain officers to impeach individually. They've been given that advice. If they haven't done it, that's on them. I would just now issue caution to Justice Hart, who I have full faith will make the correct decision here, not to over-legislate. Sometimes when we over-legislate, we lose what makes our state so fantastic. We shouldn't have baby step rules in place that stop anybody from hurting other people's feelings. That's not the point of legislation.
Amen.
That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time.
Can I ask
Grayson,
my
clarification? I just need to ask a question for clarification because I got confused.
Okay.
You said during your statement that the issues being brought forward today are internal and SOP
I have no idea.
procedure-wise.
How is he allowed to?
I think 90% of what we've been asked to assess today in this courtroom has been in relation to the SOPs that have been put forward
weren't
and
doing
not
objections.
the legislation itself.
Yeah.
I know the question
I
on
get
the
that.
docket.
I get that. The question was,
why is this guy
Why is he able to talk and we weren't during other people's?
Because this is my courtroom, and he asked, and I'm.
Can we not be children, please?
Yeah, show your age.
That goes for both sides.
And children.
My question is more so pointed towards. You said that we're talking. Most of the issues that are being brought forward are procedural and SOP based, and not based on the legislation being argued. But then a few seconds later, you said that the SOPs are based off of said legislation. So should we not be arguing what they're based off of?
If you think there's an actual intrinsic flaw within the legislation, but straight up, Deck, I'm going to be frank here. I didn't see systemic issues. I saw interpersonal issues during my time as a marshal.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right.
I'd like to go up.
Oh God.
Yes,
sure.
please.
Carmine.
Should I?
It's over with.
Should I say
as the bailiff? Don't you fuck this for us? I got
you
this for.
Carmine,
Oh my God,
unfortunately, as the bailiff, I was instructed not to let you go up.
You're off, dude.
What did you say?
I was instructed by the courts not to let you go up at the beginning when she said she didn't want to hear your voice.
I'm a taxpayer. My voice. I'm a citizen of this state. I have a right to be heard.
That's. I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying that you don't do that.
Someone else.
This is unconstitutional. I have not caused any problems while I've been in here. I want to speak.
To be fair, it was Bobby that caused the problems, Your Honor.
Yes, you're not
Thank
wrong.
you.
Fine, I suppose I will allow you to speak.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Good people of Los Santos and people of Blaine and San Andreas. We're all gathered here to watch a group of people that don't even know what they want. You know what a self-fulfilled prophecy is? It's when you try to run from something so hard and so fast that in the end, you bring that thing to fruition. Blaine County is afraid of Los Santos having its own jurisdiction and following its own set of laws. They want to encroach on our rights of people of Los Santos and take from us because they are greedy ghouls.
Ghouls.
And self-isolationism is a solution they came up with. The reason the city isn't being policed by them is not because LSPD is not allowing them to. It is because they have chosen this for themselves. So all these arguments about EMS dying, mothers crying, all that, it means nothing. They're refusing to police Los Santos because they're petty. Can I use profanity?
Why not?
Bitches! They're petty bitches! So these are not good faith arguments coming from them. They're not.
You watch your mouth, Carmine.
I would have taken a bullet for your mother, Quangle, but you wouldn't do the same for us. See, that's the difference. LSPD, you don't see us bringing fucking everybody to a courtroom complaining about policing Blaine County, because first of all, I'll police Blaine County before Blaine County. Okay, these people are deluded. They're so, I'm gonna use another term. They're so blame rotted, okay, and they're constantly blame shifting.
This is
they're
great for my bingo
delusional.
card.
They're delusional. They're lost in their own sauce.
Carmine, can I ask you a question real quick?
If they had anything tangible, let's be honest, they would have been impeached Chief Moss because they obviously don't like her. And you know
Carmine,
what?
can I ask you a question?
Nino Chavez, thank you so much for the high command structure you have given us. You have saved the LSPD. These arguments about numbers being low is bullshit. We are up good. We are up tremendously. I love the people I work with. I love my county. And if you could impeach anybody, you would have done it by now. So I say that impeach this, bitch. Yeah! Impeach this, motherfucker! Suck my balls from the bag! Motherfucker!
I'm sweating right now.
Can I ask?
Yeah, I want to silence Carmine too. Carmine too.
I won't compel him to answer, but you're welcome to ask.
I just
wanted to ask.
You're not done yet.
I just wanted to ask Carmine. You do know that the LSPD, specifically Daisy Moss, is doing the same thing in about a half an hour that we're doing?
Yeah, because it's funny, because you're doing it.
That's
got nothing to do with Chief Moss. That's my interpretation of the situation.
You're hurting yourself.
I want to add something. You're not taking the mic. I've been down 5 times. Every single one of my dabs have come from them. Okay? If we're worried about fucking unilateral decisions being made, these been dabbing me to shit. They're preying on my downfall. LSPD big, baby.
I just want to respond to Carmine's answer. I'm glad that he thinks SOP and legislation amendments and impeachments are a joke. I just want to put that on.
No, I think this argument's a joke.
He's not the one playing bingo.
Okay.
You want to do or not?
Okay.
Good shit, Carmine.
Fuck them guys, dude.
Wait.
Oh man.
You
Is he on our
More
side?
words.
Carmine
Please.
cooked more of an argument in 5 minutes. Than
Dan
I don't
did
think-
nothing wrong.
Thank you.
Fuck! That's great.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's my mentor.
I am Chief of Police Daisy Moss, the one everyone's been talking about impeaching today. I won't speak too long. I know we've all been here a while. I do want to just start this by saying that since my time as Chief of Police, this legislation has always been enforced. At the beginning, it was a discussion with BCSO High Command. It was determined that BCSO Command and High Command would be recognized as equal authority to LSPD while operating in Los Santos County. Through that time, things started to happen. The first item that happened was when I was told by a BCSO cadet that she refused to fulfill an order because this wasn't her jurisdiction and was backed up by a BCSO senior officer.
Oh my god, that's
After
true!
That, jokes were being made between BCSO and LSPD, and BCSO decided that they no longer wanted to have shared meetings, furthering dividing the two departments. The certifications had always been shared between the two departments, and we had recently restructured them to just have one cert lead.
Bro, why is Scotty cooking
Assistant
us?
Chief Tyler Peters had
Your
decided,
police
or
parents
had
getting a divorce, come live
stated
with
that he
your
wanted there to be shared
aunt
co-leads.
DLC.
To which BCSO responded, "All right, we're not having shared certs anymore." This was resolved pretty quickly after that, though. Other issues that had stemmed was threatened violence against LSPD officers by BCSO deputies. Two dead LSPD officers, one resulting in a scene that was led by a BCSO officer, and the other one from being shot in the back of the head by a BCSO captain.
What happened to Hannah?
Hey, Quangle, can you shut the fuck up? We gave your department some respect. Can you give us some as well?
Yeah.
R.I.P. your mom!
When I called the undersheriff to state that captain should be suspended until his trial, I was called crazy, and I was told that I was overreacting to the situation.
I need to get a glass of
This
water.
led to a shouting match between the undersheriff and the assistant chief of police, Tyler Peters, in which he was called subhuman by the undersheriff. In addition to that, BCSO Command has expressed that LSPD is a shit department. Excuse my language.
Forehead to testify.
What they are fighting today is not the legislation. They are fighting the SOP, which I will just say, before this SOP was pushed forward, I did have the marshals review it, and they
Where
told me it
is
was
Peach and Jeb?
constitutional.
Can you back up?
What they are
What's going on right now?
authorities just simply will not work. It goes against the Constitution, and it will just continue to cause a divide, even though we are, quote, all working together. When issues have been brought up to me, such as BCSO's worry about being disciplined by LSPD, it was brought up to me 2 days ago, and it was swiftly changed. It was something that we were already enacting. We had set out an SOP that
By the way,
if there's a
this
situation,
has nothing to
BCSO
do with the
needs to
court
report it
case.
to us, and we'll deal with it. It only makes sense.
All of this
that it
has
goes the
nothing
other
to do
way.
with the court case, by the way. This court case has no merit. You can't have a constitution amended.
When this SOP was pushed forward, because
The
that's
whole
what we've all been
system is
talking
set
about
up on
today, the
two
SOP,
two
not the
fucking
legislation.
jurisdictions. It
was
makes
never
no
a
sense
question of how it
to
would
amend
work.
this.
It was just never, frankly, entertained.
This just
by
feels
the
like a public
BCSO.
sit down and talk between two
They
parties.
voted,
To be honest,
and they decided that they would patrol their
Yeah,
own
that's
county,
what it
which I
is.
think is fantastic.
the court case
I think
has
Wayne
been
County
over.
should be patrolled.
This is just two groups of people talking to each other.
But we never even got the opportunity to see how it would work and how it would look like. They just came to me with demands of change without even attempting to try it. I would say that moving forward, whatever the outcome of this is, it's important that we do find a resolution that we do figure out how to work together, and that, you know,
I need keys.
we see how things go and we make adjustments as we need to.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing and one thing only. Den Sheisty's a fucking snake, and it be your own sometimes.
What the? What the?
Take it back! Take it back! Take it back, asshole!
That's Romero right there.
Join the club.
And then we did.
Listen,
What was that up there?
Listen,
what
man.
was that up
listen,
there?
listen. It
Well,
ain't
because
personal.
I think
It's just
I
how
mean,
the
so there's-
game go, you know. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I just needed to do what I needed to do for home
Carmine,
team.
we're supposed to be working together, and you're dragging me through the mud up
Listen,
there.
we can work together, okay? But sometimes when shots need to be sent, shots need to be sent. Your mama, I'm sorry about
why
what
fight
happened.
violence with a violence.
Cause that's what my squad's on, all right? You didn't read the TLDR? We on smoke, baby.
Carmine,
yeah,
can you,
squad full of
can you
killers.
object?
I see.
Listen, on the streets, I'll take a bullet for you. But in the political sphere, I will Brutus the fuck out of you every opportunity I get. So help me God, Quango. It ain't personal, though. You know, I love family. We good? Quango. That motherfucker's gonna kill me. I swear
I'm
to
gonna
God, if you
snitch on
fucking...
Bobby being here so he gets thrown out again.
Okay.
Hey, Bobby.
Even I went up.
What are you doing here, Bobby?
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Bobby?
Quango, stop. Quango,
No,
stop.
I
Quango,
won't vote
stop.
for Nino, Bobby. Why are you trying
Quango,
to
stop. Quango, stop. Quango, stop.
This is Officer Dan. What are you talking about?
You see what this
No, I
bitch
wanted to
Quingle's
say
doing
more,
right? You know
but
what?
I feel like
Josephine, I'm smoking
fucking
that Josephine pack. Fuck Quingle's mama. Should have been me.
Twat it. You're not gonna twat it.
Okay,
Smoke Quingle
Zebra.
pack.
Okay, Zebra, you twat Quingle's mama. I can't.
Okay.
I'm on dude.
Got it.
Do like hashtag pack watch.
Hey, Bobby, when you get a second, I got.
We're smoking on that Josephine pack.
Never had a chance to meet her though.
Hold on, wait. Jimbo
Hey, Bates, did you get an expungement?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yeah, you know,
What about
there's
that?
somebody-
That good retweet that.
I'm a politician now, Charles. Carmine.
Who the hell is Zeba?
How does that change?
What do you guys got?
This guy.
Is that
This
you?
is me.
Hey, watch your mouth, Ronello. Watch your
You
mouth.
ugly little fucker.
Hey, Bobby, you
me I'm
retwat
ugly.
it. I'll retwat it.
I can't. No, I'm not retweeting.
Yo,
I'm not-
what
I
in the
can't
LA
retweet it
Noir do
either.
you have on? You ugly.
You don't respect the drip? You
I
don't
don't
respect
respect
the...
you or what you're wearing.
Everyone can start to take.
You know, I can't believe you said that shit about your OG like that. That was crazy,
The
Mello.
motherfucker took my
Real
scene from me
treacherous
and tried to
shit.
say I wasn't
Real
doing my job.
treacherous shit, Mello. I thought you were big TRT.
Okay, well,
But
please
nah,
don't.
you
you
went
know
up
what?
there and you
Jackson
dragged
ain't
his
even on
ass.
it.
Shicey gonna remember this, Mello. Shicey gonna remember you.
You called me. I thought we were boys. You've been calling me a dirty blainer and a bastard for the past 3 months.
That's politics, you know. We good, but politics. What you want from us? We just.
What the f is so funny? You screaming bitchy fuck, huh? Every scene I'm on you, I'm saving your ass and you're screaming like a little bitch.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that, Mello. But you know, the game's the game. You just gotta respect it, you know.
I would have Nino.
Listen, if you go up there and you call my department a bunch of good-for-nothing scumbags, I'm not gonna take it personally. You know why? Because I'm not a crybaby blainer like you, Mello.
Oh, so you're back with that shit, huh? You're back with that shit, huh?
No, we cool, but you still a blainer though until you transfer. You still a
Get off,
dirty dog
Nino's
blainer.
jockstrap, you fucking sucker.
I'm gonna write that thing to command. You watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna
get to the top,
I'm gonna do
baby.
tricks on it.
I'm gonna do backflips on that shit.
You're not involved in this.
I'm gonna swallow that shit too.
BCSO may be patrolling
Jesus.
the laws and low-standing
Yes,
Oh, it
Shit on
started.
it.
for the
Back,
high
back,
command
back.
members
Let's
from
go.
LSPD.
Stay.
Matters where situations
get kicked out.
warranted.
Did you just have lick on my shoes?
I can speak personally. We have had deputies not even come on duty anymore. I've had deputies and officers come to me speaking about how demoralizing it is to be on duty, patrol with low numbers, and try to contain scenes with not enough units against both sides, both officers and deputies. Units have concerns for theirs and other safeties on duty, as we've heard from every side of the pond here today. And when for example, when LSP has had low numbers, they've just asked to come up north and patrol with us, and then no one's patrolling the city. I think
That's
importantly,
dereliction.
people shouldn't not want to come on duty.
I understood something else for a second.
People shouldn't be scared that if they speak out against their own command and high command, that it means they'll get shelved in their department. or worse.
Nobody has ever done that ever.
The amendment to this legislation is to secure that now and in the future, that the control of
Where
the SOPs from
where are the
departments
low?
aren't
Maybe
used because
shift
of the
two, but
vagueness of the definitions.
both departments are down low
It's
shift
not-
two. What are they
we don't
talking
like
about?
The SOPs that are being written, so we want to change this. We don't like that the ability of SOPs being written is backed by how vague the definitions are in the legislation itself. We
Oh my
believe
God,
if
Bruce,
there's more
stop,
wording
dude,
to it,
stop.
that then it doesn't allow the abuse of the SOPs in the first place.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Peters.
Hello, Mr. Peters.
Hello. I'm very confused as to why we're even here because the whole situation in this amendment, all I've heard about is the SOPs.
Yep.
As far as what Bruce was saying about people coming on duty, I really don't understand why those people aren't coming on duty. I think Los Santos is a wonderful place to be, and I think there's a million things you could do even as a cop. And the people aren't coming on duty are probably subpar officers. I'll fucking say it. That being said, I don't. My experience with the SOPs and why I think, or not the SOPs. Sorry, I'm SOP locked because of the brain rot I've had to listen to this entire time. But the legislation that is in play and the enforcement of it and why I think it's necessary. I've run into multiple issues. As the assistant chief from examples that Moss gave, as well as I think bad faith acting that I've seen with other officers. We had an incident where another officer was had somebody detained and was going to arrest them, and a deputy from the BCSO came down and ended up taking over the scene and releasing a suspect because I think that she was acting in good faith but didn't understand the situation and let somebody go that was actively committing a crime. Even as far as me going out and trying to work with the South Side and being a victim in a situation and members from the BCSO not contacting me and going straight to the marshals over impeachment. Which I believe if it was handled by LSPD, it would have been a little bit done differently, but I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say because I think the whole time it's just been an SOP argument versus legislation. And when I'm sheriff, don't worry, I will work this all out, BCSO. So thank you.
I suppose it's a question for Bruce. Can you explain that part about punishments again that you just spoke about?
At the time that we wrote this amendment, the LSPD had in their SOPs, due to the legislation, that they had full authority over the punishments of deputies in Los Santos County, and they wouldn't have to defer to BCSO's command or high command as to how they would punish the deputies in their own county.
Make a song about
As of 2 days ago, they have
Quangle's
rewritten
mom has got it going on.
high commands have to come to an agreement on the punishment.
And you want that added to the legislation? Is that what you said? I
can't retweet that. I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah. So you wanted in legislation that high commands have to speak about punishment for every officer and deputy? You want to have more time spent with people in offices and not on patrol?
That's my lawyer.
Well, can he clarify then?
Yeah, he is clarifying. He is saying to you that the BCSO should have a say in the punishment of a BCSO deputy, even if they do something within Los Santos County.
If I could clarify.
And vice versa.
And
So
vice
every high
versa.
command is going to have to speak about every punishment.
I just want to say I'm not sure what SOPs they are referring to, but the current SOPs for disciplinary action are that BCSO disciplines their own deputies and plus, and LSPD disciplines their officers plus. There's no overlap.
Explicitly stated about 3 times by Bruce that when we wrote the amendment, that was not how it was written, and you changed it 2 days ago after this was already on the docket.
Can you clarify verbatim how it was written previously?
If I read it.
I mean, it's in there. I didn't remove it.
Yeah, can you read that, please, Cassidy?
Because it appears to me the BCSO don't actually know what they're asking for. They've mentioned about 3 amendments, or this is what we meant to say about 3 times already.
I mean, there's no shared authority when it comes to disciplining within the departments.
Unless it's me, they dabbed me 5 times. Remember, they dabbed me 5 times.
And sent you.
You deserve it.
You
72 hours suspension.
I also think that you have a little bit of something off. We are giving the ultimate authority of the respective department of that county, or the ultimate authority to the respective department of that person.
Like the example Ventura gave earlier, when the LSPD entered Blaine County and tried to hand over a scene, and when Ventura refused to take over a scene he had no idea about, the high command from LSPD then tried to force.
Yeah,
to
you
send him
used
off
your
duty.
jurisdictional authority. Happy for you.
And did he go off duty?
They attempted to force him off duty.
Did he go off duty?
No. The silence is deafening. The fact that it's overstepping,
Almost like it
which,
works.
again, we've talked about several times.
It's not. It's not overstepping if you're there to push them back over the line, Cassidy.
What the?
Build
the wall.
Build
the wall.
Over the line if you didn't
Ignoring
overstep.
the blatant issue that's going on is crazy.
Again,
Cassidy wasn't there.
Spell blatant.
Let me just restate this,
Now
because
backwards.
everyone's hung up on the SOP. I'm hung up on the legislation. The definitions in the legislation are so vague that SOPs have been allowed to be written to then cause these issues. These issues weren't present prior to the SOPs, but because of the legislation, the SOPs were allowed to be written. If people want to write SOPs, that's fine. The legislation shouldn't allow the abuse of SOPs. And as Angel stated, there is room for abuse in this legislation. The issue is with the legislation.
Hold on.
It allows
She
for
said
having
there's
the
abuse in every single piece of legislation. Please.
Including the one we're talking about.
I
Right.
said there's the potential for abuse in any piece of written legislation. That's what
And
I
as
said.
we've seen, that there is abuse.
Thank you.
If the issue is with the legislation, why is it
These
taking
will
you
still
3
be
months?
written, regardless.
Nah. It didn't need to be enforced until now. We didn't realize that there was going to be malicious intent until the SOP
You
was
didn't need to enforce legislation.
What?
This guy's grasping at
Is Scarlet Winters in the room?
God damn, they getting cooked, bro.
I'm not going to continue to answer your questions if you're just going to deliberately misinterpret everything I'm saying.
If the SOP never happened, would we be here today?
Crazy.
No, because they wouldn't have overstepped.
So
and we
the
wouldn't
issue
have
isn't the
wanted
legislation, it's the SOP. Thank you.
That's
The
based
SOP
off
Oh my God! Push down the spatula. God damn!
Knock it off, guys. Knock it off.
We still on cold.
My man's.
Moss will proceed onto your request.
They're going to the LSPD hearing now.
We have already heard many of Angel's defenses.
Oh shit, we got to change sides now.
So, Moss, if you would like to come up here and state your initial pitch, and then I will give Angel a chance to refute it.
Want to swap sides?
Yeah, we should swap.
All right, fuck
Big LSPD coming through. Big LSPD coming through. City boys up good. City boys up good.
What's going on? High five. I can't get through. High five. Excuse me. High five. Oh God. High five.
What up, Lucas?
I high five to everybody. Let that show on the record.
Okay, hello everyone again. I'm Chief of Police Daisy
Put me
Moss.
down so my
LSPD.
ass is not in people's faces,
We are
please.
here today because we're requesting a review and audit of the legislation, powers and definition of law enforcement officers. The LSPD is proposing an amendment to the definition of jurisdictions for Blaine County and the Los Santos Police Department. Currently, the definitions of jurisdictions are defined as San Andreas State Marshals, the ultimate law enforcement authority within the state of San Andreas, Blaine County Sheriff's Office, the primary law enforcement authority in Blaine County, and Los Santos Police Department, the primary law enforcement authority in Los Santos. The LSPD is requesting to amend the definitions of jurisdictions. Since the enforcement of powers and definitions of law enforcement officers, or LEOs, legislation, both BCSO and LSPD have had jurisdictional issues when calls transferred from one county to another. Through this amendment, the jurisdictional authority will be focused on where the call originated rather than where the call is currently taking place. I am requesting to amend the definitions as followed. San Andreas State Marshals, the ultimate law enforcement authority in the state of San Andreas, and has jurisdictional authority over all incidents in the state of San Andreas. Blaine County Sheriff's Office, the primary law enforcement authority in Blaine County, and has jurisdictional authority over all incidents that originate within Blaine County, and Los Santos Police Department, the primary law enforcement authority in Los Santos, and has jurisdictional authority over all incidents that originate within Los Santos County. When units are conducting a hot pursuit, right, normally we do not have the authority just to enter into private property. However, during a hot pursuit, we do have the ability to do that because we are, you know, chasing after somebody who has committed a crime. The same logic can be applied to this, and I think that it is a quality of life change for a lot of officers and deputies.
I'm glad it's not a snooze
I
fest.
think it will just
This could have been
you
a
know,
fucking snooze fest. Thank
make
God it's
things
not.
streamline the process, and it will protect officers
people were
and
like way
deputies
too
in their
serious,
calls.
this would have
In
been
addition
like
to
fucking
that, I do
boring as
believe
shit.
that this also promotes patrolling in your respective counties, and it enables both officers and deputies. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Oh.
Sorry.
Are we open for questions yet, or?
I'm alright with questions. It's
It was-
free form. You're not required to answer though if you feel it's not.
It is just a quick one. So like with the amendment that you want, would that then mean if something from Ellis County transfers into like Blaine County, that Blaine County can't just go, hey, we're taking the scene over, leave, and vice versa?
Correct, because it would be focused on where the incident originated versus where it currently is.
That's worse for them,
I'm
isn't
gonna be honest
it?
with you guys. There's a lot more calls that come from Blaine County down to the city than vice versa, and this is an attempt to, you know, benefit both departments.
Just one more clarifying. So let's say chase from a 24/7 in Blaine County. Actually, I'll go the other way. Chase from a cash exchange comes up from Los Angeles into Blaine County, and then like the scene ends. There's let's say there's like a couple 95s, a couple injured people. Then people from Blaine County can't just come over. Like BCSO can't come over and be like, oh, by the way, this is our scene. We're taking the 95s.
That's correct.
Okay.
I do also want to state that this is obviously a recommendation. If, you know, the DOJ, you know, wants to take parts of it, or BCSO wants to put in their 2 cents on, you know, how they think that they can improve this, you know, please speak up. This is definitely could be considered, you know, this is working, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
The way that the jurisdictional authority is written in this new amended form would necessarily preclude agencies from patrolling in other territory. What
the fuck does
ability to
preclude
actually
mean?
patrol in the Los Santos County for Blaine County and vice versa was specifically legislated, and with these new amendments, that would be removed. There would be no points for a chase to originate from and go into another county because they would no longer have the authority to necessarily enforce the law in that county, as that has been removed. I don't know whether that was an intentional omission or wording of it, but as it's currently written, the Los Santos Police Department would not have the authority to pursue someone out of Blaine County into Blaine County and vice versa.
What do you mean?
So I don't know if you'd like to.
At the moment, it says they
correct me if that's just a misinterpretation of how you've written it, if you intended it another way, or if that's how you would like it to be.
And the only time you can patrol in the other county is when you move to it.
Am I allowed just to ask a clarifying question?
Oh, of course.
I'm so sorry.
Great question! Great question! Yeah, that's what we think about you, Justin! Yeah!
Chief, I'll be your
Please don't take
Tell me,
I'm
Justice.
so sorry.
Do I take her down?
That was very. You had to
Chief,
fly.
you need to
You had
jump.
to fly.
Stop.
Right.
Knock it off.
Sheriff Bones could
Thank you
never.
for getting that.
Chief, you got a spider.
Yeah.
Chief, you need to jump.
Oh, I have a spot. Okay.
She's lucky.
Bro, she socked her. Boss
That's a solid
smosh.
question.
Sorry.
Great, good question. Good question.
Are you asking about the sub authority part, or is that what you mentioned?
I'm specifically asking in as it's written underneath jurisdictions, it says that they have jurisdictional authority over all incidents that originate within Blaine County, which one could extrapolate into meaning that they would therefore have authority to pursue people out of the county. But there's nothing in here that says that they have the ability or the rights to patrol in Los Santos County.
What?
Which is
Do
to
you-
say, as
do
it's
you
currently written,
mean-
they could chase someone out of Blaine County into Los Santos County to apprehend them, but they do not have the authority to enforce the laws in Los Santos County if they were to choose to patrol in the.
Well, I just didn't include the sub authority part because I wasn't looking to amend that part of it. The sub authority should still apply. That I was just including the parts in which I was hoping to get amended.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want to change anything about the sub authority. Like the sub authority still stands. You know, I can add that in. I was just focusing on the areas in which I was asking for an amendment. The
It's
rest
not
of
necessary
the
for you to add it in. I just need to understand what exactly I'm arguing against here. What specific
yeah,
changes
no,
you're
it's
requesting.
it is literally just the part that I referenced. Everything else I didn't include because I'm not asking to change it. Does that clarify?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, BCSO, LSPD, still sub-authorities. I think that there was there was other text in there that I didn't include, and that's just simply because I wasn't amending it.
Well, I know I was here as a representative of the BCSO. I'm going to speak on behalf of myself. I do think it is important that when a scene starts, the people involved are the ones that keep the lead on the scene. There are times where people have to join the call late and they become the scene leads due to unfortunate events like people being shot and so on and so forth. It is unfortunate that we do have to expand on a definition to clarify this, but we have seen in multiple cases that when scene leads have changed from going to county, people have gotten hurt. Negotiations that were originated from the start of the scene have changed the second it went to a different county. Units have been given no context to what people are being arrested for and have been given false charges. So if expanding upon the definition means that citizens and units are more clarified to the job that they're able to uphold, then I think that's what is needed.
Get up there, Carmine.
Oh my god.
Oh god, he's back.
Carmine does not
I pay
speak
taxes.
Polish.
I'm a taxpayer.
I'm going to hand down contempt anytime you mention taxes.
Do it.
Hello.
What's up, son? What's up, son?
A lot of people came up here and said, "We speak our mind. Marsh gonna come for us. Marsh gonna get us. She's gonna fuck us over." You know the petition you guys signed? Marsh signed it too. I wonder who's gonna fire her. Maybe me when I get to be chief. I'm here to disagree with Marsh.
What?
I say no to this. I say more power to the city. I say our perps, our paychecks, peace never, violence and war always.
Come on, I have a question.
Thank you, Carmine.
Come on, I have a question. Actually,
go for it. What's your question?
Come on, I have a question, Carmine. I have a question.
All right, go for it.
How long have you been a PPO?
Longer than your mom has been dead, Quaggle. Fuck you.
That is too far.
Kind of got you there, Quangle.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, Josephine took my dick.
Right, though. I will state, they are correct. that Moss did
You know how we do it. You know how we do it. We keep them in their place.
What this is
How it is.
It states, I, as an LSPD officer or BCSO deputy, affirm that by signing this petition,
Am I allowed to retweet Josephine?
That's why I will always fight for you,
Department
Carmine.
legislation or
Thank you, Assistant
It is
Chief.
not necessarily.
Chief, I'm sorry for saying that about
one
you.
side or another. Just to make sure everyone's aware of what this is.
Yep. Please note, according to BCSO, Moss has to now fire herself.
Oh shit.
It's not according to us.
That's not what they
I would,
said.
I would prefer not to.
Yeah, that was an LSPD officer, not us.
This guy's an actual idiot.
Y'all willfully
Since the petition got brought
ignorant.
up again, I will just clarify.
Fucking
It was
yikes,
Assistant
Jesus
Chief Peters
Christ.
who said any LSPD officer that signed a petition, he would fire and they can go work for BCSO.
Do you want to clarify, because I talked to Silver before any of this ever happened, and I said it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to keep throwing that around and use these petty arguments for some bullshit,
Eddie,
whatever, like go for it.
I'm just clarifying it because he's now throwing the insinuation that we're the ones saying.
Hey, why don't you just try to impeach me instead of scheduling these fuck court cases that have nothing to do with legislation and SOPs?
This is the LSPD's hearing. Peters. You had
Just up there complaining.
24/7.
Okay. All right. I'd like us to get back on track here.
Oh god, they know that I'm here now.
LSPD's hearing.
Damn, I suppose we do have to. As much as I love this.
Yeah, we've all been
This
here
is the
quite a
LSPD
while.
because you couldn't control Den.
What?
What?
He was actually
Okay. All right. Anyways.
Nothing wrong. No more picking and prodding, please. Let's get this over with.
In that case, I will start to wrap this up. I would like to start by reiterating that we are all public servants. Anyone who works under any police department should remember that. At the end of the day, what we do should be benefiting this state as a whole.
Oh shit.
Shiesty seething, dude.
Patrolling, no matter where you consider your home, we care about the people of the state.
Shiesty
They chose to be
seething.
up there. They chose to do this.
She's back quiet.
You really should have mentioned.
Please keep that in mind with every decision.
Someone tell us to go to the
I
mic.
will say
If I mention, I'm gonna put
there
it in
are a
if they're not thinking about
few
it. So, what do I do?
concerns that have been raised regarding this legislation that I think could be worthy of considering, particularly the boundary of where exactly something starts and who takes it over due to that is something I would be willing to look into. However, at this time, I do not believe that either of the proposed amendments are a perfect solution to that. Unfortunately, I will not be accepting either of those. I am willing to, however, take a look at this closely and go through all
we
of the
won.
notes that I have written.
You heard that?
from
We
each
won.
And every party, and see if we can come to a conclusion that might appease everyone. I agree to the fact that there are
Then
certain
wins it-
freedoms
then won in
that are
the
required
end.
to be allowed by this legislation, as according to the Constitution.
Anybody got a
And
cigarette?
I do not intend to limit those
No.
powers.
Wouldn't smoke.
I also do not intend to water down the legislation by just stating that essentially you are a UPD and that you do not have any specific powers anywhere. I feel like that would cause more issues than we have now. You all have the right to your own identity and your own priorities in the place where you choose to work. No one should be required to join the LSPD if they want to fight crime, as was alleged. They should have the ability to focus on the things that they care about within their own department. They should be able to do so.
I got smokes. I need to get the
So,
smokes.
That is my judgment. I do not have a final ruling right now. I will have to look over this with my fellow judges. However, I am willing to amend this should we come to an agreement.
I can't believe she blamed.
What's the
Thank you, Your
ETA?
Honor.
What's the ETA?
Crazy.
I would prefer it be correct than give a specific ETA. Although
Take as long as you need.
Thank you. I will make sure that I
W
get
Glaze
feedback
Masters,
from you
W Glaze.
on this, and that we try to find a far happier ending point with this. I do see the concerns from all points.
They're gonna have to vote again.
I do love a good happy ending.
You know?
Of course you do.
Who doesn't?
I'm with
Third
you on that,
vote
Jimbo.
incoming.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Justice.
Your Honor,
Making your
to-
voice heard.
Thank you,
to
Justice.
clarify, you're delaying your verdicts, and
Yes.
it will be posted on the docket later, or
It will be, yes.
Later. Okay,
Once we
good,
have
good,
come
good.
to, yes.
Okay.
If anyone has any
Never
other questions for me, I will be available.
Okay. I'll
However,
give it to her today.
that's
Okay.
the ruling of this court for now.